Good morning to everyone. Thank you very much for tuning into Junior Achievement Greece for the second time. After the great success of our student competition, which took place on the 8th of May and was watched by 230,000 people from 28 countries, today the time has come for us to host our University or College Student Competition for Innovation and Entrepreneurship Day Startup 2020. The 15 teams competing today are thrilled indeed because this year the competition is very important. The winning team will take part in the competition hosted in Greece from June 24 to June 26. So let's see what this team will be, the team that will represent our country playing at home within the framework of the European competition. We'll find out a little bit before 4 when we have the announcement of the first prize winner by Mr. Kyriakos Spyrakakis, the Minister for Digital Governance. We'd like to thank him very much for honouring us by being with us this afternoon. We had 68 teams from 16 universities taking part in the competition for the GA Startup this year. Under adversity in the midst of the coronavirus, for all intents and purposes, they worked very hard. They coped very well with all demands of the online procedure. They coped very well in what concerned the procedure among them and what had to do with the competition. And all of them are ready today to present their very smart business ideas. All of them are connected, both contestants and jury, and we are ready to start the virtual and live student competition GA Startup 2020. So, starting in alphabetical order, we'll hear from Cactus first. The first team is Cactus from the Athens University of Economics and Business. The team has at its disposal 3 minutes in order to make the formal presentation of the idea that they have, the so-called pitching. They don't have a long time to do that. They mainly have 3 minutes. So I would like to start by wishing Cactus all the best. Good morning, we are the Cactus team. Our idea stems from the global problem of clothing waste management. Every year, the average European throws away 15 kilos of clothing, 85% of which ends up in a dump, and we have 100 billion euros of raw materials. Global share will be increasing and it will be 8 billion for year 2026. In Greece, we have 4 recycling companies. Donations in 2019 exceeded 2.5 million kilos. We propose a management system for clothing waste. We'll have an IoT bin, a game mobile application, and a B2B web application. Consumers will be donating their old clothes, they'll be receiving rewards, counting their environmental impact, and they'll be sensitized in what concerns the exchange of clothes. Companies will have access to real-time data for bins, and will have analysis of donors' behavior and attitudes, and will be programming the collection of clothing. Here you can see some of the screen shots of our applications for donors and collectors of clothes, and the prototype 3D design. Batomis will watch the video to see for ourselves practically. Our business model renders us a bridge between clothing donors and the companies that manage the collection of clothing. Rewards are offered by business partners. The price of our bin is 2,000 euros and the service fee is Scala. What differentiates us against competition is our specialization in clothing and textile market and the integrated technological system that we'll be providing. Our break-even breaking point will be achieved in the year 2022, and every year we'll have the increase of proceeds from subscriptions. The overall investment amounts to 200,000 euros, and it is divided in OPEX, production costs, and marketing. Our vision is the enhancement of circular economy through social contribution, contributing to the United Nations SDGs. Our skills have brought us here today, and our common passion is what drives us and gives us impetus for what lies ahead. Thank you ever so much for your time. We'll be looking forward to questions. Way to go! You made it on time. Congratulations, students. Now we'll be connected to the members of the jury. Your interview with the members of the jury will start shortly. I'd like to bid them good morning. Mr. Marcos Veremis, President of the Junior Achievement Greece organization and co-founder and President of Upstream. Good morning to you, Mr. Veremis. Good morning, Mary, and I'd like to say good morning to all the students and the other members of the jury, and I'd like to thank them for coming. Mr. Emilios Kyriakou, Managing Director of City for Greece, Cyprus and Malta. Good morning, Mr. Kyriakou. Good morning to everyone, and all the best to all the teams. Mr. Babis Kazadzidis, CEO of Manpower Group Hellas. Good morning, Mr. Kazadzidis. Good morning, Maria. Good morning to the students, and I'd like to wish them success. And Mr. Konstantinos Zanatopoulos, Head of Corporate Social Responsibility for Accenture. Good morning, Mr. Zanatopoulos. Good morning on my part. Good morning to everyone, and I wish you success. All of you have 4 minutes at your disposal for the interview with the Cactus team, and the clock is ticking. All the best. I'll give the floor to Mr. Veremis first. Okay, my first question regards the product per se, that is the bin. I understand its utility. I understand the magnitude of the waste we have at the moment. But I'd like you to elaborate a little bit further on whether or not the bin has some unique or singular technological features, or is it something, on the contrary, that can be copied easily by somebody else? How is it that you can actually protect this intellectual property of yours? How can you protect the technology behind the bin? Answer. The bin has technology that has not been found up to now, apart from load weighing. Up to now, this technology has not been easily copyable. We intend to look into the matter further, however. We've been discussing the issue, and up to now, indeed, we haven't found a way that people can actually copy our endeavor. Okay, fine by me, I'm covered. Maria, may I be the next and ask something about the finances to the proposition? I have a question. I'm talking about the 200,000 euros of investment, which is the par excellence incentive of investors that will drive them to support the idea. What do you believe is the main advantage to your proposition so that you can lure an investor to invest 200,000 euros? Good morning from me. Thank you very much for the question. We are speaking about a global market with a CAGR of 5.2% this time, year to year, from 2019 to 2026. From that point onwards, within the framework of the Greek market and Cactus, our financial plan estimates that our proceeds until the year 2025 and our net gain will amount to 400,000 euros. So we are speaking about an ever-increasing market in which we are trying to invest. A question, if we have time. Do we have time? Yes, you do, says Maria. Students, what is the difference between you and the bins that are there already? To my knowledge, I've been using bins and I've been leaving clothes inside of them. There are bins. So what is the difference between them and you? What do I have to gain coming to you? I'll get some rewards, you said. Would you care to elaborate on that? Yes, thank you very much for the question. I'll take the floor. Well, the innovation to the product and what differentiates us from the rest is not something based on the bin itself. The bin technology is innovative. In fact, in the Greek market, we do not have smart bins for clothing. That is, we don't have incorporated sensors. There is an interaction between the donor and the bin through an application. We have heavily invested in the application. We have looked into ways to make it alluring through a gaming finder environment, game finder environment. We're addressing the consumers through the fact that up to now they haven't had an application allowing them to find all the collection areas, the areas of the bins. There are no data regarding the fullness of the bin. We safeguard this through our application. Upon leaving the clothes, they'll be receiving a reward. This happens through our software. They leave some clothes and the weight is counted because we have sensors. Sorry to be interrupting, your time's up. Thank you very much. Way to go, students. You did exceptionally well. I wish you the best. I'd like to thank the jury, and now let's go to the next team.
So the next team is Cloud Diabetes Sound Notification from the University of Macedonia. The team has 3 minutes for the pitching, for the brief presentation of their idea. I wish you the very best of success, team. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Matsani Vaitsa. I'm the leader of this team for Cloud Diabetes Sound Notification. We have with us Mr. Manis Nikolaos and Mrs. Vlachou Dimitra. They're the other members of the team. So, we have noticed that diabetic patients do not realize when they are hypoglycemic or hyperglycemic. So when the glucose levels of a diabetic patient is below 40, it's dangerous for their health and their life. This is hypoglycemia. And now, when the glucose levels are over 400, this is also very bad for one's health and also life-threatening. So that's hyperglycemia. So we propose the following solution. A sound notification in both such cases when one is hypoglycemic and hyperglycemic. It's not just the patient who will be notified, but also his loved ones, his close relatives. This is an excellent solution for the time when somebody is asleep. Thus, one will be able to check glucose levels when one is lying down. So the proposal is the following. We have a product and a service. This is a patch. It has 2 sides. It's placed on the arm, the upper arm of the patient. We also have an Arduino in place, which measures the glucose levels. And when it is below 40 or over 400, then the patient is sent a sound notification, but also his relatives are also notified. As a service, we offer the data, and the data is then stored in a cloud environment. So the doctor can download the data and decide what treatment needs to be offered and what corrective actions need to be made in order for the patient to remain healthy. Nikos. Our product and our services are addressed to all diabetic patients, regardless of their age. They can be from 4 to 104 years of age. It will first be offered in Greece, and then, depending on the situation, we might try to go global. Every year, there are 7 million new patients being diagnosed with diabetes in the world. And according to the graph you can see in 2020, your time is up. I'm sorry, students. That's the pitch. Now we will have the live interview with the jury. You have 4 minutes in total. Time will start now. And I give the floor to Mr. Kyriakou, first of all. Good morning. I wish you the very best of success. A very interesting proposal, a very interesting product. My question is, given the competition in the world, in this field, how do you position your product as an idea? Because I don't think there's a demo yet. I don't suppose there is a demo yet. Can I answer the question? Yes, of course. Go ahead. We didn't have time to prepare a demo. There is no similar product in the market. So there's Medtronic, that's our competition, but there's a sound notification only for the insulin pump and not separately, not as a separate standalone device. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Would you like to ask me any other questions? Why do you need to have a separate standalone device? If you get the same sound notification from the pump, why would you need that? Why? Because all diabetics do not wear an insulin pump. There are diabetic patients who use a pen for insulin injection, and there are others who take pills and also use an insulin pen. So it could be a combination of things. Thank you very much for the answer. Do we have time to ask questions? Yes, you do. Very nice. Just a quick question. Is this just an idea? Is it feasible? Can one get all the information through the patch? Because you said that you use a patch. Is it technologically feasible, or is it just an idea for now? Well, we started from the idea. That's our basis, but we are testing the waters. We're trying to find out whether this is truly feasible, and we believe it is. We already have the recording of glucose levels in the blood. With another way, Libre, that's what it's called. But this has no sound notification. Libre does not have sound notification in hypoglycemic or hyperglycemic events. Thank you very much. I want to ask a question. How long does this patch last? How often does it need to be changed? I think it would be good to change it every 14 days, also for hygiene purposes. It's good for hygiene, for practical purposes, and for other purposes to change it every 14 days, every fortnight. So you're working on the patch now, right? That's what you're working on. Yes, the Arduino, that will collect all the data. Now, this is bioinformatics and biomedicine, or a combination thereof. That's how I would define it. And it may collect this data and store it on the cloud. I'd also like to ask a question. Have you ever studied this? There is Livorno, a company in the US, and it only deals with diabetes in the US, and it was listed in the NASDAQ recently. This is the most successful biotech company dealing exclusively with diabetes. Have you ever heard of it? Have you seen what it does and its progress? Its name is Livongo. I've never heard of it. I haven't looked at it, to be honest. Could you give me more information about this company? Well, we don't have time. If you look into the Livongo website, you'll find a lot of interesting things there, and it has an integrated solution on how to manage the lifetime of a customer. Very nice. I have nothing further to add. That's all for now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Congratulations. I'm happy I didn't need to interrupt anybody or cut anybody short. The time is up. Congratulations. I wish you the very best of success. And we now move on to the next team, Colombo, from the Athens University of Economics and Business. Colombo, like the other teams, has 3 minutes for the pitching, for the official, concise presentation of their idea. Good luck, Colombo. Good morning from Colombo. Let us begin. Let's imagine that you're trying to find a house, a place to stay in a crowded city. You want to find a place to stay near your work, but it's very difficult. You're wasting your time, and sometimes you end up seeing houses that look nothing like what was mentioned in the time, and you have very limited time at your disposal to search for a house. So what do? It's very easy. You can enter Colombo, and then you can have a virtual walkthrough of many many houses and apartments for as long as you like and in a space of a few hours. Let's imagine that you're walking in the street heading for a specific destination. You go past this area and you go, I'd like to stay here, I'd like to live here. But what could you do about it? Well, easy. You can scan the area on your phone and Colombo will present the available spaces to you, the available houses and apartments. So we know that the number of people looking for a home on the internet is 2 million per annum. So we compete against real estate agencies. We are the best solution, the best choice. We give you a good idea of what the house is about. There's no commission. And we know that there's a high likelihood that the meeting between the owner and the prospective tenant will end up in a contract. So our main users, the users we're aiming at are professionals, young adult students, and the type of owners are those who own spaces. So as far as finances are concerned, given our strategy, we believe that the break-even point will be achieved in year 4. The development of IDEA would not have been possible without a strong team. The Colombo team complement one another, and we have hard skills and soft skills, a perfect combination. So Colombo is a project that's disruptive, and it comes to disrupt an obsolete market, an outdated market. Let's see how this works in practice. This is the Colombo project. So we're ready to take questions now. Perfect. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the interview with the jury members. You have 4 minutes in total. So countdown. Let me first give the floor to Mr. Kazantzidis. Good morning. Wonderful idea. But I'd like you to tell me, I understand how you differentiate yourself from the others because you scan the area and so on and so forth. But I don't know if this is really possible, if it's feasible. So let me say that I'm walking down the street and I see 2 blocks of flats that are very similar. I scan them and then I see the available apartments. Am I right? Yes, you go into the application. So good morning. You go into the application. You look at the filters. For example, you want a house that would cost 100 to 150 euro rent per month. Then you press scan. And you scan the area, and if there are available apartments for these categories that you've chosen, according to the filters that you've entered, then there's a frame saying that this is the house or the apartment that is to let. And then you click on the frame, and then you can have a virtual walkthrough, learn about the house, and you can get the contact details of the owner. I have other questions as well, but I'll leave it for now. I'll give the floor to the other jury members. Mr. Zanetopoulos, you have the floor. Zanetopoulos, excuse me. What is the difference from Spitogatos, where the owner enters and the details of the apartment or house by himself and doesn't go through a real estate agency? Well, these are the 2 things that are innovative. There's nothing like it, and we offer this virtual walkthrough at a very low price, at a very affordable price. So we have a virtual walkthrough. You can actually see the photos. We've approved of the photos. So what you see is actually what you're going to see in real life. What you see on the screen is what actually appears in practice if you physically go there. Fine. One question on this matter, and I wish you the very best of success. Good luck. Who is actually shooting? Who is taking all the photos and who uploads all these photos on the application? That's a lot of work. Well, we think that we need to hire photographers, and we'll be paying for the transportation and the equipment so that these photographers can go to every space and take these photos, and then we will create the virtual walkthrough. We will use them for the virtual walkthrough. I know it's a lot of hard work, but we're ready, and we believe that there will be many benefits in the future. Now, the virtual walkthrough outside Greece is very widespread. It's very popular. It started from the hotels in order for people to see hotel rooms. And if you look at London, for example, you'll see that most websites about offering homes and apartments to let offer virtual walkthroughs. What integration could you do with Google Maps? Have you ever thought of that? Meaning somebody being able to go to an area, wander around this area, and wherever there is a walk-through apartment, that this person can actually go and visit the actual apartment. Is this possible? Have you ever thought of that? This possibility. Of course, there's room for improvement. We wanted to give you the minimal viable product right now. And we've also got a load of ideas that we could upgrade to the application and offer more characteristics, but it's an excellent idea. We've already thought about this. Thank you very much. Your time is up. I wish you the very best of success. All the best. And now let's move on to the next team, Crowdy.
From the Athens University of Economics and Business, Crowdy have at their disposal 3 minutes for the pitching. That is the short, formal presentation of their idea, and I'd like to wish them all the best. Ours is the Crowdy team. In a few words, this is a crowd control management system. The problem that we've detected is the crowding when waiting for a bus or on a bus, and queues and waiting queues in banks and public spaces. In view of the coronavirus, we need to avoid crowding. The solution proposed is Crowdy and Crowdy for Business. This is an integrated solution for the avoidance of crowding through dynamic routing based on IO technologies. Specifically, Crowdy is a free application for citizens. They'll be able to receive information regarding the time of arrival of buses and people on buses and the number of people waiting in queues and banks and public spaces. Crowdy for Business is a service for a fee for different organizations that want to keep their customers safe and will prove the safety when there is an inspection. There are some metrics, for example, surface area or available places used in order to have a comparison, and they'll be able to have monthly and weekly reports. There are some basic applications that we'll talk about here. You can see the secretary of the hardware prototype, and now we'll watch a video showing you the modus operandi of this. Well, our B2C market regards Greek citizens commuting and using buses. Our application will help them stop crowding, and B2B regards banks and public services in Greece. Our proceeds will initially come from the subscription from Crowdy for Business. We'll work with different organizations. We'll use technologies that are user-friendly. We'll also work with professionals for the installation of the infrastructure in different units, and our product is definitely enhanced compared to the competition. Finally, the application is a combination of services. It's customer-centered, and what we'll be providing will be improved. In Crowdy, we have navigation applications. In Crowdy for Business, we have crowd management applications, but the existent models exist abroad only. Main proceeds coming from a monthly subscription, and secondarily, we'll have analysis package sold, and we'll be making available advertising space. The initial investment will be 200,000 euros. We'll have operational expenditure, sensors, and marketing. We'll be targeting the better management of time and a better quality of waiting time in public spaces. In view of the coronavirus, this is a sine qua non for us to safeguard public health. Your time's up. We need to be very strict with time limits. Okay, now let's go to the interview that you'll have with the jury. As you all know, you have 4 minutes at your disposal, and the clock is ticking. I'll give the floor to Mr. Zanetopoulos first. Hello, ladies. Congratulations. I'd like to ask something practical. If there are many people on a bus, what am I to do? Let's say that I'm waiting at the bus stop. What shall I do? Shall I go for coffee and then come back? Answer: if you see that there are too many people on the bus that you're wishing to board, you may be able to choose another bus with fewer people on board, or perhaps change your route or change your means of transport. But if you have to wait at the bus stop for the bus, it goes without saying that you lose precious time for you to see that it's empty, for example, or for... Yes, but what if everybody gets off at the previous stop? There'll be a live update of the application. You're right in this point you're raising. There'll be a live updating, so you'll be able to see that. Okay, I thought perhaps your focus should regard perhaps other services, banks, etc. What if the coronavirus period is over? What will your business plan be? Our business is very important because we'll expand to more spaces, not only banks and public services. We also want to target supermarkets, hospitals. It's of paramount importance that people know how many people frequent a certain space at a given time, for people who may have health problems, people who may have mobility problems. And they need to know in periods of flu bouts, for example. Well, let me ask you something. I find your idea very good indeed. I believe that it is smart and timely by all means. And I believe that after the coronavirus epidemic, it will be important for people to actually appraise waiting time, except for contact with other people. I find it quite interesting. I'm very fond of the idea, and I'd like you to elaborate in further detail regarding the technical application to this plan. That is, be a little bit more specific vis-à-vis the application of this program, and how can this be made true without costing too much money per bus, per shop, etc. In effect, what we've thought about is placing motion sensors at every shop entrance, and the framework of the entrance will be a filter so that the outer sensor will not trace the inner one and vice versa. The sensors need to rotate inwards so as to make sure that people moving inside a confined space will not further activate the sensors. Fast question, fast answer if you wish. How about the background of your team? Would you care to share with us what it is that you've been studying, you are studying? We are students at the Department of Management and Technology, and we have divided our jurisdictions in the application in accordance with our skill, our potential, and the field that every single one of us wishes to specialize in after university. So we have matched it to our abilities and interests. Well, very good. Thank you very much. Let me ask a fast question. You mentioned 200,000 euros, and I'd like to know how many application points apply to this particular sum of money. What is your coverage, that is, with the investment of 200,000? Well, initially with the 200,000 euros, we want to cover the first expenses of our application and the expenses for the purchase, maintenance, etc. The sensors we also needed for future scalability of our application. Yes, but what will you be covering? What is the area of coverage? Will you be covering Athens, Syntagma Square? What are OPEX? No. Geographically speaking, what is your geographical coverage? Our application... Your time's up. I am sorry to be interrupting you that abruptly, but I need to do that in order to be absolutely fair with all teams. Yes, of course. You'd be well advised to do that. I wish you good luck. I wish all of you good luck. Now, let's proceed to the next student enterprise competing today. Dr. Ivy from the Athens University of Economics and Business. Dr. Ivy have 3 minutes at their disposal for the pitching, their official presentation. Good morning. We are the Dr. Ivy team, and we'll present to you a smart IV fluid management system. We know that in most hospitals in Greece there is a shortage of staff. What we do not know is that 2 out of 3 complications that emanate from shortage of staff are related to the IV infusion system. The problem in the Greek market concerns 283 hospitals and clinics, while the target market for the first 5 years is a mere 3% of this. That is 10 hospitals or clinics respectively. Our proposition is an integrated system of IV fluids for patients and the ability to monitor the state in real time. Nurses and personnel will be able to do that no matter where they are in the hospital. There is the prototype hardware and software phase of our project. With every IV fluid set, there will be an integrated mobile application allowing people visibility of real-time condition, critical alerts for the timely change of IV fluids. With our system, IV fluids will change when they need. Here you can see the user interface, the nurse or the doctor you can see all important information. That is the floor, the ward, the room of the patient, and the level of risk. We've prepared a short video for you to see how it is that the Doctor IV project works. We can see that the IV fluid is reduced when it goes below 20%. The nurse in the office receives an alert on her mobile phone. Definitely there is competition in this sector, but our value proposition regards the fact that we have a user-friendly mobile application and an integrated IT system. Regarding our business model, we'll be working together with a manufacturing company, logistics company, and the suppliers. Of course, they will be receiving percentage of the sales to our customers, hospitals and clinics. Will be giving IV fluids 60 euros per bottle and the mobile application for free. The break-even point appears in the year 2021 when we have sold 3,800 units and we'll be needing 250,000 euros of investment, 50,000 for the strategy of promotion the first year, 100,000 for operational costs of the same year, and finally another 100,000 for R&D for the final product. Unfortunately, COVID-19 brought to the surface the huge needs of the global health system, but we're here to stand by the side of the heroes in this domain in order to allow them to do their difficult jobs more easily every day. We have the CFO, CEO, CTO, Ioannis, Christiana, and Antonis, respectively. We're mutually completing one another and we'll be able to make reality of our dream. Your time's up. Way to go. Very good. Your interview is starting at the jury shortly. All of you have 4 minutes at your disposal, and I'll give the floor to Mr. Veremis first. Clock ticking. I'd like to understand further detail regarding the technical aspects. That is, would you care to please explain how it is that the application works? Yes, my name is Christiana Georgouli, and I've been involved in the product design and the technical aspects to the project. In effect, there is a sensor measuring the distance of the fluid in the IV fluid bottle. It measures the remaining fluid. So when the quantity drops lower than 20% or a percentage predefined, an alert is sent to the mobile phone of the nurse through the application. It goes without saying that for the application to work, there needs to be an installation in the hospital. And then the nurse will be logging in using the credentials that the hospital or the health unit will be giving him or her. I don't know if I've covered you or if you'd like to ask something more. No. Your answer was fine. Thank you. Thank you. Emilia, would you like to ask something? Emilios, a fast question. What if the IV fluid stops dripping? What happens then? Will you be sending a message? Yes, precisely. It measures lingering time, that is, how long it is that the fluid remains inert. So this denotes complication and need for change. Ioannis, you spoke of numbers, so you've proceeded to cost and pricing, I suppose. You said that you'll be selling IV fluid unit for 60 minutes. Is it correct? Yes, correct. This is the fluid and the sensor. What is the price of IV fluid alone? Well, only the bag and the rest, wholesale price, maximum €1. Only the bag that is, and all the little gadgets that complement it. So from €1, we go to €60 for every IV fluid bag or bottle. Is it correct? Correct. What is the business rationale for the investment in hospitals to elevate the cost 60 times for the IV fluid bottle? Oh, excuse me, would you like to compound your question? No, thank you. Thank you very much for the question. Initially, the cost of the bag is something that is a wholesale price. It goes without saying that the fluid inside costs a certain amount of money. In the United States of America, for instance, a simple IV fluid exam costs more than €300. For all intents and purposes, this is an investment that the hospital will make, first of all, in order to apply a digital transformation for the entirety of the hospital and to save on the costs for human resources and time management, because nurses waste time in order to go back and forth and change IV fluids at a wrong time interval. Thank you very much. I thank you. You said that there are companies active in the same domain, that is with sensors in fluid bottles. Yes, there are 2 startup companies that are involved in something similar, one in Japan and one in India. All the other companies with integrated IT systems like IBM only have a monitoring system. They do not check if there's a complication, and there is no mobile application allowing for a general dashboard on the floor so that nursing staff on the floor can have prompt information for the entire floor. Your time's up. Sorry to be interrupting. Way to go. Congratulations are in order to everyone. I wish you the best. Thank you very much. And now we'll proceed to the next team, Funded, from the Athens University of Economics and Business.
Funded has 3 minutes for pitching. The team is ready. Good luck, Funded. Good morning. Our name is Funded, and the problem we're trying to address is the difficulty to find funding for biotechnology, and this has to do also with independent researchers. Those that are interested in applying sometimes don't have the skills for a good funding application, and it seems that there are very few possibilities. So according to the panel of Startup Greece Week, it was mentioned that in Greece there is a lack in funding knowledge. The problem is that in the program Horizon 2020 of the European Commission, the success for funding is only 14%. And in order for a scientist to start writing up a funding application, he has to read about 200 pages, and preparing the application takes many days. So this is where we come in. Funded is a consulting company which prepares the funding application, and our consultants are economists, bioscientists. In relation to finance, everything is on project-based level, and our commission is significant, starting from 3%. We offer our services through a digital platform so that our clients come into direct contact with us in order to avoid transport. This is our expansion, our extension, and it makes us attractive to all companies and researchers. What is our point that's different from others? We have bioscientists and economists. Our competitiveness is as follows. We actually do everything for funding, and we also have a platform for improved communication. Now, in relation to competition, we prepare funding applications in a specific field, whereas the competitors do the incubation and the mentoring of startups mainly. So we don't really have direct direct competition. So I think we could actually work with the others in this field and have mutual benefits. So we intend to go to market as soon as possible, and we want to take advantage of the fact that because of the COVID-19 pandemic, there are many startups that have sprouted in Greece in this field. After Greece, we want to go global. Our team has 3 members. We have different skills, and we believe that it's very important to advertise the company, but we also want to meet all the needs and cater for the needs of the clients. Thank you very much for your attention. Wonderful, right on time. Excellent, congratulations. Now let us move on to the live interview with the jury. You have 4 minutes in total. I will now give the floor to Mr. Kyriakou, and time starts counting from now. Thank you very much, Maria. Wonderful idea. Congrats. My question is the following. How are you going to charge your services? Will it be a percentage of the funding? Could you give us an idea of the finances pertaining to this business model? Of course. Let me answer the question. In order for us to be as viable as possible, we have agreed that initially we will be paid on a project-based level in order not to have additional cost. And this will be a small percentage of the funding package that we will receive from a company. Now, if the funding application fails, the percentage will be very low, around about 3%, just to cover our operating cost and not to burden the company. Whereas if we have a successful funding application, the percentage will be higher again, around about 15%, and we won't receive it all in one go from the company. We will initially get a smaller percentage, meaning 10%, for example, when they receive the funding. And when the company manages to grow, then we will get the remaining 5% in order for them to be able to meet their needs and to have higher liquidity. We don't want to put pressure on the company. Thank you. High commission rates. I work in the banking sector, and this is why I consider this commission quite high by way of percentage. But you're going to do all this work by yourself, so now I understand the rationale. Thank you very much. Thank you. You have 2 more minutes. That's the remaining time. Good morning, students. I'm surprised by the fact that there is no other consultancy firm that prepares the funding application. If this is the case, then I think that your services will be very popular. I mean, if there is no other such company preparing a funding application in this field. Well, we've looked extensively into the matter. We've looked at many consulting firms, investment programs, what banks offer, and from the collected information, we've come to the conclusion that these consulting companies offer help with the business plan and its analysis. They offer advice. Now, writing up the funding application and being specialized in biomedicine and bioinformatics, well, this is something we haven't come across. So we did this market research in this very specialized sector, and we see that there's a huge problem when it comes to funding of biotech and bioinformatics companies, and we see that there is no other such consulting firm. So we're certain there isn't any other such firm out there offering the services we are proposing. So in your team, who has an in-depth knowledge of biotechnology as a sector? That's me. I am an expert. I am a student at Democritus University of Thrace. I've studied molecular biology. So I am the link between economics, if you like, and biotechnology. And how would you man the team? How would you staff it so that you can come up with these proposals, but not on a small scale, on a larger scale? Well, initially, we would begin. 2 of us have studied accounting and finance, so we have the background to prepare funding applications. And Alexandros Time is up. I'm sorry. You've run out of time. I have to keep the time, and I can't do otherwise. So I wish you the very best of success. Let us move on to the next team, Homegrown from Mediterranean College Athens. This team has 3 minutes at its disposal for pitching. Good luck, Homegrown. Have you ever visited a shop and never been able to buy anything? So why not try to go for traditional products? So we have very good products to offer, high quality. So there's this app, Homegrown, and everybody can use this. We have a very pleasant walkthrough, and then you can visit and you can taste the finest products just with a touch of a button, with a click. Homegrown is a digital application which allows easy search and identification of PDO quality products, bringing the growers into contact with consumers. It is made in such a way so that consumers will easily find local products of their liking in the area where they're in. This covers all the areas of insular Greece, mainland Greece, and these attract many visitors. Homegrown offers value to those who want to have high-quality PDO products from all the beautiful places of Greece, thus supporting the local economy. Then we have innovation. Homegrown actually works closely with Greek producers, meeting all the legal qualifications and quality controls. So the users will be able to choose, based on the area they will visit, the high-quality products that they would like to taste. This application has premium and standard version. Privileged users, premium users can evaluate and also have access to reviews from other customers, and they take advantage of special offers with the companies that we do business with. And of course, the producers can update their profile so that everything can be updated and valid. Homegrown actually addresses chefs, both professionals and amateur, if you like, cooks. And we know that we also address consumers. Now, the chefs, they are less in number, and we also have people who sell on retail these products. So the immediate competitors are actually web pages promoting local products and local guides. Our indirect competitors are local supermarkets, delicatessen, meaning gourmet, and also greengrocers and grocery stores. So the cost is 17,000. The fixed cost for the first year is around 25,000 euro. And the profit, well, it's estimated around 58,000 euro in total. Time's up. Thank you for the pitching. Now let's move on to the interview with the jury. 4 minutes, that's the time. Time has started counting from now, and I give the floor to Mr. Kyriakou. Good morning. I wish you the very best of success. I'm really happy that you're promoting Greek products. We need this more than ever. My question is the following. I'd like to understand more about your income, your revenue. What's your business model, your financial model? Well, it's as follows. We have a subscription from local growers. Generally speaking, Greece has a plethora of products and local producers. We have estimated around 10 to 20% of the total number, i.e. 300 producers with an annual subscription of 100 to 120 per annum. So this is 48,000 if you add it up. And we also will have more money from the premium version, around 5,000 euro, and also from advertising, also another 5,000 euro. So that is the estimated revenue, 58,000 approximately. And what about the expenditure? Well, 25,000 per annum approximately. And this is defined as followed: for software development, for sales, of our company, the different things, for example, consumables for our accountant, administrative costs, basically. I didn't hear you. That's the administrative cost and also the logistics of the proposal. What about delivery? Will this be done by you of the products or by the producer? So good morning. Good morning. So delivery will be done by the consumer himself, meaning he will go meet the producer in person, the producer producing the products that are to his liking. And of course, they might chat and talk about the quality and the procedure. We're just going to be the intermediaries, the middleman. Well, it's not very practical for somebody to go all over Greece to meet producers, no. But I suppose that because this is a transparent procedure, the participants will know that they will be in immediate contact with the producers, so that they both know that this is the case. Good morning, girls. What makes you stand out? What differentiates you from other sites? What is that exactly? Is it that the consumer goes and visits the producer? Is that what is the difference? Yes, it's the direct contact between the producer and the consumer, whatever that may mean. Because thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. There's still 1 minute available for one last question. If there are any questions, who would like to ask a question? If everything's covered, we can stop here. Okay, so good luck, good luck. We wish you the best of luck. It was an honor to have spoken with you, and it's an honor to have had you here with us. Now let's move on to the next student company, Mama Bear, from the Athens University of Economics and Business. So Mama Bear team is ready for its pitching. That's 3 minutes. Good luck, Mama Bear.
Hello, ours is Mama Bear team, your baby's new best friend. Babies are the future and they need our care. Working parents and organizations like clinics, nurseries and kindergartens need to maintain contact with the baby so that babies can grow correctly, psychologically, and thrive. The B2B and B2C market is very big, and we aim at 40,000 gorgeous knitted teddy bears and a lot of organizations, 110. So we've decided to come up with the beautiful Mama Bear teddy bear, able to reproduce messages played when the baby is detected to be crying or laughing. And data will be sent to the organizations. What's most important is that it will be keeping company to the babies and bringing babies in contact with their carers. Now we can see how it is that the Mama Bear system works. We've created a system and we've placed it in the teddy bear. The parents tape record the message from the application and they program the conditions of message playing. When the baby starts crying, it reads on the screen. So we can hear a lullaby recorded, playing. At the same time, the working parents receive a message regarding what's happening to their baby. Here we can see the flows with suppliers and the two kinds of customers. Mama Bear is sold wholesale on the shops in our e-shop and in the form of bundles. Mama Bear has 3 indirect competitors because there's nothing similar which is both smart and interactive at the same moment. It's the only one that can detect a baby's cry or laughter, and the contact and communication between the parent and babies are synchronous. In 2022, we'll reach the break-even point. We need 150,000 investment in order to achieve that, in order to cover the production costs and the operational costs. The idea was born targeting the more high standard contact between the baby and parents. Organizations will be able to cover psychological needs created. This is our team, Marina, that wants to help all the babies of the world. Konstantinos, who is a technological teddy bear of our heart. Myself, Chrissy, I want everyone to understand how valuable Mama Bear is. And Steffi, that knows how important a Mama Bear is for you or a family of friends. And we aim at making your lives and the lives of your babies better. Way to go, congratulations. Okay, let's go on with the interview with the jury. All of you have cumulatively 4 minutes at your disposal. I wish you luck. I'll give the floor to Mr. Casatidis first. Good morning, students. Very smart indeed. It made an impression on me. Would you care to explain how it is that organizations can use this massively? Because you mentioned at a certain point that it can be used in great numbers and multiple players can be handled at the same moment. What good will it do? Thank you very much for the question, first of all. In effect, our idea was to facilitate the simultaneous contact of many babies by an organization, a clinic or a hospital. We could automate the procedure, that is, record the message once, and through the application, if you have mama bears, 50 mama bears, let's say, all of them will be playing the same message. Yes, all the babies will be able to hear the same message. You'll be able to play the same messages or songs in order to see collectively what happens with the babies. For example, you may find out that all babies cry at 9 o'clock in the morning. So the hospital will understand, or the kindergarten, that they'd be well advised to have someone standing by, being physically there in the morning to help the babies. So this will give us insight about how the babies in that facility behave. Well, thank you. If I may ask something, says Mr. Zanatopoulos, could the bear actually understand whether the baby stops crying when listening to a particular song, and what will be the way in which the teddy bear will communicate with your systems? And last question, what is the price for every teddy bear, roughly? I'm responsible for technology, so I'll answer the first part of your question. In effect, with the microphone, there can be a recognition of decibels. There are neuronal networks trained to know and understand when a baby cries or laughs by means of analyzing decibels and the sounds made by babies. So, in effect, the plan is to identify that a baby is crying, to play the song, and through a Wi-Fi module, the teddy bear will be sending a message to the application, to the servers in effect, and will be sending it to the application of the parent or the organization, a message reading that the baby was crying, and we played that song. And in this way, the parent will be appeased, knowing what happens to the baby when they themselves are not by their side. Now, about the course of every teddy bear, I suppose Marina will be able to give you information. She's worked in that domain. Yes, of course, according to research that we've done, we've looked around, we've checked prices, and we found suppliers for the teddy bear and separate suppliers for the mechanism that will be put in the teddy bear. From Alibaba, regarding the teddy bear, we found custom packaging and suppliers alluding to a price of 3 euros per teddy bear, while the mechanism cost per teddy bear fluctuates between 5 and 9 euros. How about the sale price? In both the shops and e-shops, it will be 75 euros retail price, and we have some bundles. We'll have some bundles for our B2B customers, organizations, that is. Wholesale price for shops will drop to 40 euros. Is there a prototype? Is there a teddy bear that actually works in the way that you've described? That is there one physically ready? In effect, we've created a prototype with Arduino. We introduced it in a teddy bear that we placed it in the belly of the teddy bear, and it can detect cry. That is, when a baby cries, it produces a loud sound, but we haven't managed to make it distinguish between crying and other sounds. Way to go, congratulations, congrats to everyone. I wish you the best, students. Thank you very much, reply the students. And now let's proceed to the next team, Parkopticon from the Athens University of Economics and Business. The team have 3 minutes at their disposal in order to proceed with their pitching, that is, the brief presentation of their idea. Success. I wish you success, Parkopticon. It is difficult to find a parking spot, and it's an endemic problem to every city. The solution to the problem is of paramount importance for traffic viability. The solution that we've thought, developed, and proposed is the Parkopticon roadside. It's a smart parking and monitoring system. It sees whether parking spots are occupied in cases of B2B. This is done with RFID modules. And there'll be a possibility to automatically pay for the spot. There'll be a mobile application to the driver available, showing different parking spots, estimated time of arrival, and different info. In the Pakoptikon Road side, we found a different way to capitalize on the same technology in order to solve the problem of high cost for vehicular safekeeping, which is something part and parcel of every organization, be it public or private. Pakoptikon Cerberus, the same sensors for Pakoptikon roadside, are used for the reconnaissance of parked vehicles. With the security system, if there is an unauthorized movement of any vehicle, this is detected, and there is redistribution of parking through the provided application. The driver can activate and deactivate the alerts, engage or disengage them. The prototype of the sensor that we've developed is fully functional and it offers potential that the competition has not made available. RFID in the basic passage and remote sensing. $19 billion will be the European smart parking market. We aim at 0.02 the European market in 5 years. Roadside in cities and private companies will be made upon signing a contract of installation and maintenance. There'll be an escalation on the grounds of the size of an installation. Mid-size installation costs 35,000 euros. The Cerberus has been priced at 50,000 euros. Having profoundly studied the solutions offered by competition, we've developed a unique value proposition through which we believe that we'll be able to find our niche place in the market. According to our forecasts, Pakoptikon will be profitable at the 4th year of operation, having sold its system to 10 private and 3 public customers. The overall investment fund for Pakoptikon necessary is 200,000 euros. Funding costs, personal, fixed costs, and marketing will be the allocation. And 10% will be given back to the investor. We'll have a direct gas emission reduction from the vehicles, saving both time and money spent on trying to find a parking spot. We are Charis Blesas and Yorios Ballas, 2 partners who share a common passion for technological solutions, capitalizing on every single one of us' unique potential. Way to go. Your time's up. Time for the interview with the jury. It will last 4 minutes, you know that. So, time is starting now. I'll give the floor to Mr. Zanetopoulos first. Hello, students. Let me ask, how can you actually reserve a spot? How can you prevent your spot from being used by somebody else until your time of arrival? You are making mention to the roadside Pakoptikon airspace, the general system. Yes. Well, reserving a spot is an experimental function that we've integrated in the application for the customers that desire this. We understand that many cities and many customers would not want us to allow the reservation of a parking spot only for the users of an application. So this is a customer-dependent option. Regarding the proof of concept, the user will need to feed in info regarding their cars. Yes, but how can you actually physically reserve a parking spot? Will somebody go there and watch over the parking spot, lest it should be used by somebody else? Thank you very much, you're right. Our idea, which cannot be seen, unfortunately, in the version of the sensor that we have at the moment, was to integrate a monitor which would be placed on the bollard or somewhere on the curbside, giving information regarding the parking spot. I see. Yes, but a camera does not safekeep a parking spot. I suppose that I could go there and park instead of somebody else. Yes, I suppose you could. The basic thing that this option does is to remove the parking spot from the application, to make it invisible, that is, to make sure that other app users do not go there and park instead of you. So, in other words, what distinguishes your product is what? What is it? I'm not sure. I can see it clearly. Is this what distinguishes it? The fact that you can reserve a spot, you reserve a spot. What is it that distinguishes you and the competition? Well, what makes our product different compared to the available solutions offered by the competition regards the RFID sensor incorporation in the basic package. In the basic sensor, that is, for the parking place, the competition has not managed to do that up to the moment. Most of the times, there is an outer reader of RFID. This allows for the reservation of special parking places for people with disability, for instance, without the use of an external, more expensive system like automatic plate recognition system, for instance. Well, I see. Thank you. You have 1 minute to go. How are you planning on achieving the collaboration of municipalities for this project of yours? For the main part, the management of open parking places is part and parcel of the scope of municipalities. Well, good afternoon. Thank you for the question, first of all. We are planning on entering into contracts after the 4th year of operation, whereby the smart parking market will have become more popular in Europe, according to our estimates. Okay, thank you. Could I ask something about the cost? Cost per parking spot? Do you have an overall estimate per area, or the area of Athens, for instance? What is the overall cost for the system with the RFIDs to actually work and operate? I'm sorry, end of time. Mr. Veremni, sorry for interrupting. Very good. Congratulations to everyone on our project. I wish you success, students. And now we'll proceed to the next team, Reflectro from the Mediterranean College of Thessaloniki, University of Derby. Reflectro is ready, connected, and ready to go with the pitching. That is a formal presentation. All the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Yestimani Dimi. I am the Managing Director of Reflectro, an innovative eyeglass company. Modern consumers spend countless hours in front of a screen due to our society, which is technologically advanced. But this leads to eye problems, and this means spending money to change glasses, to get your eyes measured. In Reflectro, our vision is to create a pair of high-tech eyeglasses which will be affordable. There'll be a cost-benefit analysis. There will be a retina scanning technology in the frame. This will identify the eye problem. Retina scanning is a biometric feature. This throws onto the retina a beam of light, and depending on the reflection, you can identify the eye problem. After identifying the eye problem, the lenses are adjusted automatically with the use of nanotechnology and artificial intelligence. Now, the eyewear will also have an app could be used on iOS and Android, and this is very important. At the same time, everything will be produced in Dublin, Ireland. That's where we'll get, we also get our frames from Luxottica. This is addressed to people with eye problems, and it's going to be a breakthrough in eye glasses. We're going to have high-quality frames, high-quality lenses, and nanotechnology. So this means we'll have ease, we will be able to save money, and we going to the doctor, changing glasses. Well, all this is rendered obsolete because this model is automatic. We have good ratio between value and cost. All these are some of the reasons why our product is a great opportunity nobody can miss. So we have an innovative product which is suitable for all ages, and it combines not only high quality, but also a very advanced mechanics. So the future starts today, not tomorrow, in our company. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wonderful. Very nice. Congratulations. Now let's move on to the interview with the jury members. That's going to last for 4 minutes. Are you ready? Are you all ready, both sides? Great. I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Kazatsidis first. So your time has now started. So we have a countdown. Microphone. Sorry, I was muted. So, good day, girls. I find your product very innovative. So I will now focus on a specific question. Is it possible? Is this possible? I think it is impossible. So if this can happen, if this is possible, I'm sure that a lot of people will lose their job, like ophthalmologists, for example. I think it's fascinating just to wear this pair of eyeglasses and adjust it and be able to see well. Is it just an idea? Or have you moved on to some research, for example? We have conducted a lot of research, and in our day and age, AI is used in many fields, in many sectors. And because you can have IE in various devices that can be small. For example, a mobile phone. This means that you can use AI in a frame for eyeglasses. So it is doable. It's possible. So Emilia, I can't hear you. Sorry. Mr. Kyriakou, your microphone. Could you please press unmute? My question is there this technology out there? Is it available and you will use it? Or will you also finance the R&D of the necessary technology for this product? So technology-wise, we are talking now about a combination of lenses and frame. As a combination, you don't have these two. You don't have them together. This is what we are aiming for, and this is the innovative element of our product. Very nice, thank you. You said something about Luxottica. You mentioned Luxottica. Could you be more specific? Could you clarify that for us? Thank you. Of course. Yes, go ahead. Thank you. Luxottica is a large company. I know Luxottica. I know what Luxottica is. I just want you to be more specific. Have you contacted Luxottica? Are you doing business with Luxottica? No, we are looking into the cost of frames. We're trying to see what the price of a frame is so that we could come up with our product. And we saw that the price is good and the quality is good at Luxottica, which means that we might be working with them for the frames in the future. From a technical point of view, have you ever tried, did you try to make a prototype? Who's your technical manager? I want more details because I am an expert in technical aspects myself. So my question is, what is the logic behind the solution that you're offering? I'd like more technical details, not just the general idea. I know it would be great if one had such a product, but what are the technical aspects thereof? We haven't created a prototype yet, but we have conducted thorough research, and we have also looked into nanotechnology. Your time is up. You've run out of time. That was 4 minutes. 4 minutes are over now. Thank you very much. We wish you the very best of success. Good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let us move on to the next team, Reset, from the University of Macedonia. Reset has 3 minutes for the pitching. Reset is ready. I wish them every success. So, good afternoon. My name is Matula Parthena and Tasiuli Vasiliki. We are from the University of Macedonia. Let us talk about the problem that led to the need. We're talking about fast fashion. So fast fashion is the mass production of clothes. There are many reasons why we need to cut down on the amounts of clothes we buy from such mass producers. We see that there is exploitation of employees. So what we need is we need to guide consumers towards ethical fashion. This is the idea behind what we're doing. There are sites that are either individual brands, and so on and so forth. So what we want is to create a platform. The platform's name will be Ethical. This will be promoting and selling only fair brands. So the consumer will be able to make use of the e-shop to buy such fair brands. So what is the market? The market is the business sector of clothing and footwear. Our buyers, the target group is 18 to 45 years of age. So let me continue. I want to answer a basic question as to why we have an innovative product. First of all, there is no such similar activity in Greece. So from this point of view, we're producing something new. Now, in relation to the product itself, the customer will be shopping through this web page. This is the e-shop. So the web site will not be a mediator, an intermediary. It will be an e-shop. Information will be provided on who manufactured the clothes, under which conditions, and so on and so forth. Because we are in a sector when there's cutthroat competition, we know that innovation by itself is not enough. It doesn't suffice. So we need to create a competitive advantage which will make us stand out from the crowd. So our main competitors are Inditex, the Inditex group of companies, and H&M, which is a multinational. So Inditex group of companies, which is the king of the hill when it comes to fast fashion, has many subsidiaries which promote fast fashion. Just like H&M, they also sell shoes and clothes which promote fast fashion. Both companies try to cater to customers' needs using unfair ways. They use successful marketing strategies and try to differentiate by selling at a low cost. We also have successful marketing strategies, a strong presence on social media, and an innovative supply chain structure. End of time. Very nice pitching. Congratulations. Thank you. Just one more sentence. So, sorry, I have to cut you short. We have to be fair. I can't give you more time. I'm really sorry. So now there will be the interview with the members of the jury. This will last 4 minutes. Your time has just started, and I give the floor to Mr. Zanetopoulos. Hello, girls. The idea is wonderful to be able to offer certification for ethical fashion. The difficult thing, though, is that if you have Zara and H&M as your competitors, I think it's very difficult for you to be successful vis-a-vis such competitors because they're giants in fashion. So how do you intend to solve the problem? How can you penetrate this market? And how can you certify that a brand is ethical? How difficult is that? So our web page will be based on products coming from companies that are ethical. We will first do our ground check, some groundwork. It's not just any company. We will have done thorough research first before placing them on our e-shop. Now, the main competitors are the Inditex group of companies and H&M. Why? Because they are promoting fast fashion. We want to reduce the scale of fast fashion in Greece, in the Greek market. And we know that there are many people who look for ethical brands. They're on the lookout and they search for them. So that's the idea behind our proposal. So from the available web pages, particularly in Greece, we didn't see anything similar. So could you cite some examples of ethical brands when it comes to clothing? So, for example, give me 5 or 10 examples of brands that you would first use on your e-shop and sell from your e-shop. Well, of course, we wouldn't do business with a big fair brand like Patagonia, but smaller companies like small designers actually promoting their own pieces. Even on Instagram, there are many such pages where everyday people are trying to sell their own pieces, and they might only have 5 or 10 pieces. We're not talking about a whole industry behind this. There are many ethical brands, and because my wife is involved in this field, I wanted to see from your research a list of 5 brands other than Patagonia, which are too big for you, ones that you would work with and at the outset. I discovered Banella through Instagram, and I know that this actually promotes fair fashion. Banella. Well, let's move on to the next question then. Are there any other questions? I think that their difficulty lies in what Mr. Zanetopoulos mentioned before. So the question is, how do you actually certify that these brands are actually fair brands? So how do you do the certification? I think this is very difficult. It requires research. Of course, it's difficult, but you can actually do the research, and there are various organizations that want companies to work in this manner, and they ask for it. So this is what we will look into in greater depth. We're still in, we're just taking baby steps right now. We're still in the beginning of things. Thank you very much. I think that the jury members have asked all the questions they wanted to ask. Thank you very much. Good luck. We wish you the very best of success. Now let's move on to the next team, Spotaki from the AUEB. So the team is ready for the pitching, which will last 3 minutes. Good luck, Spotaki.
Hello, this is Spotaki team, and I am Konstantina, the CEO of the business. The problems that we've ascertained regarded urbanism, life in a fast lane, and the short life expectancy of plants, and the fact that young people have been distant from nature. So we're addressing people who are interested in gardening in Greece on a level of B2C, and B2B, we're talking about primary schools and universities. So what is the solution provided by Spotaki? It's a smart flower pot with IoT technology and sensors of light and moisture, which is connected to its own mobile app, looking after the plant and monitoring its health and informing the user. So it all becomes a very pleasant process, the one involved in increasing the life expectancy of a plant. You can see the application, and the user is connected to it, and it attaches a plant to the application, and then there's customized information through Spotaki. And you can see the fully functional hardware prototype. The basic version also includes the gaming version that creates an online community, and the Edu Spotaki, a STEM version for schools and university with the use of a separate educational app. Spotaki innovates with the use of IoT technology, the collection of very useful climatological data from the sensors, the creation of a web community through the gaming version, and the management of all different customers in a personalized manner. Proceeding to our business model, Spotaki buys technological equipment from suppliers and, of course, knowledge from collaborating agriculturalists, and then Spotaki sells B2C, the flower pot as it is, or only the kit, rendering every flower pot smart. And B2B, we have the Edu Spotaki 10 kits together with educational software for people to know the rudiments of agriculturalism in real time. There is competition, but we differentiate our value proposition in order to combine the features of our competitors with an affordable price. Briefly passing to some financial data, Sportaki will be launched in the market in the year 2021, and we estimate a break-even point for the year 2022, with the sale of about 1,400 units all in all. The financing that we need amounts to 100,000 euros and is allocated to marketing, R&D, and operating costs. Finally, for our team, a very important factor indeed is that of the social impact of Sportaki. It enhances environmental awareness and it also enhances homegrown vegetables. So we bring something green to our citizen in an entertaining way. And you can see our team in Sportaki, Aphrodite, ideal in promoting our idea, the tech brains of the team, Katerina, Marilina, and Konstantina. Your time's up. We can see the slide. We can see you too, ladies. Very well, your pitching was very good. And now let's proceed to the live interview with our jury members. So, ladies, you know it lasts 4 minutes as a whole. The clock is ticking. I'll give the floor to Mr. Kyriakou first. Hello. Wonderful idea, the one regarding the green aspect to it. My question is dual. First of all, the product is a sensor, in effect? Answer. Yes, if I may answer your question, I shall do so immediately. Well, the product that we offer, in effect, is triple. First, we have the kit, as we mentioned in the presentation. That is a mechanism involving 3 sensors and the ability to be connected to a mobile phone. Yes, you take this and the entire thing is placed in a port. Is it correct? Yes. Or it could be sold separately as a mechanism, as a kit. We provided for that in order to render every flower pot smart. How about the cost of every unit, every kit, that is? Marilina? Yes, I'll answer that, says Marilina. The price is 80 euros. Kit, 60 euros, and Edu, which is a STEM version for universities and schools, will be sold for the price of 1,000 euros. Let's say here that the Edu Sportaki version involves 10 kits to be made available to schools, and we also provide them with the educational software. It's all included in the price of 1,000 euros. I see. And do you have this product in a physical form? Have you constructed it? Have you made it? Does it work? Yes, it's fully functional. And if you'd so wish, I'd like to show you. I have it with me by my side. Would you like me to show it to you? Here it is. We've made it with the use of Arduino. We have made a sketch that takes the data from the sensors and comes up with the respective messages. Of course, it goes that this is a first version. It goes without saying that will enhance it aesthetically speaking and make it more beautiful. Thank you very much. You've answered. Thank you, sir. Ladies, I'd like to ask you the following. You know, there are many such products on the market. I already have 2 of them at home, in fact. Xiaomi, for example, has launched a product of this kind. We have this Lua product, which is something like a robot, that is, it talks to you, etc. And then there are more rudimentary products that function in the exact same way as yours. Where does the difference lie? This is what eludes me. And the pricing ranges between 40 and 60 euros. That is, the ones that I have personally purchased cost 45 euros each, and I bought them from the Amazon. Tell me a few more things about competition and how you diversify from it. Aphrodite. Well, concerning competition, the previous products that we have found on the market as competitors did fewer things, in effect, compared to us. In what sense? In the sense that we have the gaming version for children and older people. We have the STEM version for elementary school children and adults or university students. So, compared to the Lua product that you mentioned, for instance, Lua is something like a pet of a sort. That is, it merely tells you what the plant needs. We'll be giving you tips, extra tips. That is, if you're planting something, we'll be giving you advice on how to use the plant that you've planted in a different way. Gardening tips, growing things that you can eat, because we want to promote this ecologically friendly way of living. These are the basic differences between us and our competitors. Furthermore, sorry for interrupting you, I'd like to add that we have the app. Most of the products you mentioned are not followed by their own app. That is, they have a smart board. It tells you what to do, I suppose, but it's not connected to your mobile phone. Your time's up. Very good. Congratulations. To all of you, I wish you all the best. All the best to you too. And now let's proceed to the next team, Transport Way from the University of Macedonia. Transport Way is already connected and ready to do the pitching that will last 3 minutes. I wish you success, students. Good morning. My name is Maria Filippidou, and together with friends and partners of mine, Eleftheria Serafimidou and Athina Papaioamidou, we are representing the Transport Way company. This is a company that will provide to the market services through software. The first problem that I've noticed in the field of trading business, where I work, concerns transports. Many times, finding the right way of transport takes a long time. You need many phone calls and emails in order to find the fastest and more affordable solution. Most of the times, we call 2 or 3 transporting companies, and not all of the ones that there are available. And there is the high possibility of not finding the best. The second problem I saw in my experience, I work for a transport multinational company. I've been in contact with people in the field. The basic problem that we are faced with is the load, the space that is not covered, working load. So at first we had the idea of coming up with a web application. The business that plays the role of the customer will feed in the data of the transport, for example, the features of the cargo, the merchandise, arrival time, destination, etc. There'll be a matching of formats, and we'll have the businesses or customers' data, and this will be matched to the transport company's data at a second time with the data and the database already existing. There'll be a platform working out for transport costs. We've have open code provisions and scalability for ERP. Before invoices, there will be an automatic estimation of expenditure to be added to the final sum. So as you can understand easily, our target market is divided in 3 categories: transport companies, commercial businesses, and later ERP systems development companies. In this particular period of time in Greece, we do not have direct competitors. I suppose that the competition regards the traditional ways of transport. Furthermore, many companies have their own departments of transport in order to dispatch their products. Internationally speaking, even though there are companies with a similar scope of action, they do not aim at actually completing all the working load of transport. This is our number 1 goal. eShop and ERP systems constitute a further competitive advantage concerning our option. For us, it's not a mere idea for a competition. It is related to our field of studies, our field of work, and the field that we want our entire careers to be devoted to. We're looking for people who, with their knowledge and experience, will help us and guide us in a correct way so that we can make the best of the beginning and go ahead. We want to see Transport Way come to life and blossom and thrive. Thank you very much for your attention. Your time's up, right on time. Way to go. Very good pitching. Let's go to the interview with our jury. It will last for 4 minutes. All set? Clock ticking. Mr. Kazatsidis has the floor to start. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'd like you to explain how it all starts. What is it that I do? I'm a consumer. I want to expedite a transport. What do? I visit the application and I see available transporters giving me or showing me a particular price or fare of transport. Is this the idea in effect? Well, let me tell you, says Athena, you are the customer. So you enter and you feed in the data or for the transport or the dispatch that you want to make, what you want to be transported, how many kilos, what is the volume, and then you submit this form. Internally, or the database will look to see if there is a transporter who has this room available in order to expedite what you want to carry. So transporters have declared in advance something, and this is something like an auction, you're telling me? Yes, they tell us what their available space is. I know that this already happens in the United States through transporters. There is some kind of an auction when you want to send something somewhere, and they bid the best because they know, for example, their working load, the spare load room. Is this something similar? Yes, it is. This service does not exist in Greece at the moment. This is the advantage that we have in our country. From that point onwards, abroad, in the United States and in other countries, there are respective companies. However, they do not have a system which complements an ERP system. And it doesn't aim at filling spare load room in a truck or a ship, for instance, used by a transporting company. Well, I'm covered. Thank you. How will the service be paid? Well, initially we are planning on doing the following. In the first year, we'll make our service very affordable. And we'll do that in order to fill our database with transport companies and in order to make a name for ourselves amongst companies. And in due course, after the first year that is, we intend to set an annual fee for transporting companies, that is a subscription fee. And in time, we aim at making profit from advertising, that is of transporting companies, in our website and from the sales in our ERP systems and plugin for WordPress, for instance. And of course, we'll offer space to anyone wishing to advertise themselves through our site that is accepted for transporting companies. How about Joint Cargo? This is a company. Have you ever heard of it? Joint Cargo, you said? No, we haven't. Well, Joint Cargo, says Mr. Veremis, is a company that endeavored to do what you'll be embarking on. So check it out. They haven't managed to do it, however, to a great extent, because, in effect, big transporting companies finally showed a need to predefine things quite early. I'd suggest you look into this example because it worked in Greece. It stemmed from the Orange Grove or the Dutch embassy, an incubator that is. Time's up. Oh, I would like to answer this question. Unfortunately, I have no time to answer. Thank you very much. Way to go, everyone. We wish you the best. Thank you very much, reply the ladies in unison. Bless you. And let's go to the next team, University, from the Athens University of Economics and Business. University are ready to make the pitching that will last 3 minutes. The students are ready, they're connected. I wish you the best.
My name is Yorgos Markou. I will be presenting University. Nowadays, we see that there's a lot of information. It is not well organized. This leads to confusion, and this is something that is also found amongst the students. This means that students cannot make use of all the opportunities out there, and this cannot make their university life, their student life, enjoyable. So what we actually do is offer a lot outside the university. Our vision is for students to live a rich life inside and outside university. So we want to offer information regarding activities outside the university so that students can make use of these. So the university app is divided into 6 discrete categories. One is food, the other is volunteer work, sports, travel, conference, and so on and so forth. My name is Nikolaos Meratzos. I am responsible for the marketing plan, the business plan. Now, the reference market, our target market, we're addressing a market of 750,000 active students that grows by 20 70,000 a year. This is a large number of students. We know that the percentage of students to the general population is 6.83% in Greece. So, university app, the application is provided free of charge to students. So, we allow students to pick other activities, and here we have a full, if you like, packet. We can also promote other medias. We can work with others. So there are also commissions per individual student. So the marketing plan will have the same marketing push. This will be through social media. It will also be promoted in universities and various student-related events. And then we'll be able to have a marketing pull. And then, of course, this will be a very positive development. Hello, my name is Spirelis Nikolaos. I'll talk about the competitive advantage. It is innovative, and there are three aspects. The one is completeness. It covers many choices, all the possible choices in each category. Then customization. We have customized proposals depending on the preferences expressed by the student. Now, objectivity, that's the third advantage, meaning we have reviews by the student community regarding the available choices. So we have a significant social impact, both for the student and society at large. So we have awareness raising for students. They manage to learn a lot through seminars and conferences, and their horizons are expanded. You've run out of time. I have to be fair. I have to be strict. You cannot overstep your time, which is 3 minutes for pitching. So now let's move on to the jury members. The interview will last 4 minutes. We're ready. The clock is ticking. And I will now give the floor to Mr. Kazantzidis. So, good afternoon. Students, I know you didn't have time to thoroughly describe the service you are proposing. I read your presentation, and I'd like to ask how you will be able to achieve this customization of services to students in relation to competitors, for example, Spoudazo.gr. Well, I'll answer this question. Thank you, and I would like to say that we have foreseen the use of filters, the creation of filters that will customize the information. These filters may have to do with which city the student is in, that's very general, and then they'll go down to the individual likes and dislikes of every student and his or her preferences, how much money one is willing to spend for every activity, and how big the conference one would like to go to, what type of conference. And so this is how we will do the customization. So there'll be a list of activities, and then we will be able to offer him more customized proposals. Thank you. Where will your revenue come from? That is the question. So where will your revenue come from? I'll answer that question. First of all, our revenue will come from advertising paid by various entities to be advertised on our app. And there will also be the possibility to work on quota, on commission. So depending on the number of students we attract to every entity, they will make some money, and we will get a share thereof, which could be 3%, 5%. So this will be the way we'll do it. I'd also like to add something here, if I may. It's like eFood, for example. eFood gets a commission of 5% for every order placed through eFood. So when through our platform a student has registered for an activity, then we will have agreed with the service provider 3 to 5% commission plus advertising, which is a fixed cost. Thank you very much. Questions are similar, my questions to those of Mr. Kyriakou in particular. So my question is, which is the activity which will bring the most revenue? Which is the most energy revenue generating, if you like, activity? Which one will students pay more for? I'll answer that question The two main activities which we believe will generate the most revenue for our company are entertainment as well as conferences. When it comes to entertainment, there is a lot of competition, and the student movement is considered very important, and everybody wants to attract the students. So as we grow and as we get more and more students coming on board to our platform, the competition between these companies, among these companies, will become more acute. So they'll want to advertise more on our platform, and this will generate more money for us. They will advertise more, so we'll conclude more agreements. Of course, with conferences, there's sometimes a problem that they're not advertised enough to attract students. This means that we, meaning a platform that addresses the students and advises them on what they should do, well, I think that conference organizers would like to advertise with us, and then we can conclude agreements with them as well. So what I would like to add at this point is that food and offers and sales, well, these are things that students can make use of many times a day. For example, sometimes they can use the application quite a few times a day, not just once a day. And the time is up. Thank you. Congratulations to everybody. I wish you the very best of success. Good luck. Thank you. And let us now move on to 15, team number 15. This is the last one. It's Will You Help from the Athens University of Economics and Business. The team is ready for the pitching, which will be 3 minutes long, and we wish them good luck. Hello, we are Will You Help? Have you realized how bad a fall may be for someone with movement restriction? This could be fatal if nobody's there to help. So how many people have this problem? 73 million people worldwide need a wheelchair, and 3 million falls per annum in Greece. We have a lot of people who have problems with their lower limbs. Will You Help is a system to detect, if you like, falls using IoT with the sensors. It sees where the people are and immediately calls for help. There are two buttons. One is sending the information to healthcare personnel, and the other to the traffic police. This is how we moved from hardware prototype to our system. So this is the software prototype, and here you can press the emergency button, you can activate them. So when there is such an alert, there is an immediately sound notification. So through this, you get information and can actually help. So every wheelchair becomes smart. So the customers may buy or rent an equipped wheelchair, but we can also actually integrate our system into existing wheelchairs. So we actually do a lot in order for us to be able to work safely and to be able to go on the street. The wheelchair users are able to work with the traffic police, but we want to offer a value proposal through our collaboration with the traffic police, so they give assistance to people with mobility problems. So our break-even point is 2022. So the sales at the break-even point are specific. So we need 130,000 euro investment. This will be for operating expenses, for supplies, and so on and so forth. So will you help people feel safe even though they have mobility problems? Being confined at home is not a solution. People must be free and independent and safe. So these are the members, Ioanna, Angeliki, Sofia, and Georgia of our team. We all contribute in our own way. This is a short video. Will You Help makes use of Internet of Things technology, and it helps us with mobility problems. So every person with problems can be free from his supervisor while remaining safe and independent. Thank you very much for your attendance. Thank you for the pitching. We're ready now for the interview with the jury members. Of course, yes, we are ready to go. This interview will last 4 minutes. The clock is ticking. Mr. Veremis, you will ask the first question. You will kick off. Thank you. Congratulations. Now, competition. Of course, you said that you want to work with traffic police. But what else could you do to distinguish yourselves from competition? Now, can you tell us more about the cost? Give us an indication of cost. How much would a device cost in order for us to put it on the wheelchair? And how much would an integrated device in the wheelchair cost? Now, let me talk about competition. Our competitors, these are smart gadgets mainly that detect falls, but they are wearable devices. And we also have smart wheelchairs. The way in which we are different is that we can transform every wheelchair into a smart wheelchair. Because as we said, our customers can just get the system and then install it in their own wheelchair. Now, we also have chosen not to have a wearable system. We wanted to be integrated into the wheelchair instead. This is an innovation on our part because people with mobility problems have the wheelchair as an integral part of their lives. So for any reason, a wearable for example, they might not wear the wearable device, and that might be the day that they happen to fall, and then nobody will find out about it. The supervisor will not learn about the fall. So by installing the system into the wheelchair, this means that the supervisors will be notified no matter what happens. And the fact that we work together with the traffic police means that they will move safely on the road. There will be a button that they can press, and if the traffic code is not being followed, if it's been violated, if a car is parked so they can't move, then they will immediately alert the traffic police by pressing the button. So they'll know the exact location because there'll be a GPS sensor, and the traffic police officer will go and provide assistance. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to talk about the cost. The cost of construction of the fall detection system costs €40 and it will be sold at a price of €65. This is a very good price. It's affordable. I think anybody could afford to buy it and install it, whereas a ready rail wheelchair would be €225 retail. It would cost us €150 in both cases. We have a 50%, if you like, markup. So the difference between the cost of production and retail price. And I think that this reflects the market as well, because this is what you would normally find in the market. So have you contacted the traffic police or not yet? Do you have any news on that? Because I think you're going to keep the traffic police very busy if you do that. The truth of the matter is that this is something we haven't actually delved into. We have discussed the matter with our professors, and they've given us the advice. So we're going to work on that. They've told us how to approach the traffic police and what to do and how to present it to them and see if they're willing to work with us. Very interesting. Thank you very much. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Emilia. So, good morning. We have very little time left. The sensor. How does the sensor understand that a person fell off the chair and not that something fell in front of the chair, an object, for example? So our prototype is as follows. Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time. You won't be able to explain this further. We can't have the answer. We want to be fair with all teams. Good luck. Best of success. Please stay with us for a couple of seconds because you're the last team to be competing. And at this point, I'd like to warmly thank, on behalf of Junior Achievement Greece, the members of our jury for being with us for so long. They devoted a lot of time and effort. And thank you for being here to evaluate the 15 teams. Mr. Marcos Veremis, the president of Junior Veremis Greece and co-founder of Upstream. Thank you very much, Mr. Veremis. Mr. Veremis, did you hear me, Mr. Veremis? It was a great pleasure for me to be with you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for everything. We also have Mr. Emilios Kyriakou, who is from City Elados, Cyprus and Malta. He is the managing director. Thank you very much, Mr. Kyriakou. Thank you for the opportunity. I wish all the teams best of success. Mr. Babis Kazantzidis, CEO of Manpower Group Hellas. Mr. Kazantzidis, you're a juror, a member of the jury for the first time. Well, this may be a first for me, but as a company, we've been supporting junior achievement for years. I remember in 2012, I was also a mentor at an upper secondary school, and we actually had won that competition. So we have a long tradition, and we will continue to support you. And Mr. Kyriakou is also the Vice President of Junior Achievement Greece. City is a sponsor for Junior Achievement. He was also a juror in other competitions abroad in Europe. And we also have Mr. Konstantinos Zanetopoulos, who is head for CSR at Accenture. And he has also been a member of a jury many years, and Accenture has provided a lot of support. We are grateful to all of you. Mr. Zanetopoulos, could you just say a couple of words? So congratulations on organizing this competition. Congratulations to all the teams. And I'd like to say that I know remote, I don't like the remote mode. I know it's something we need to do, but I would think it's better for us to go back to what we know best, meaning being present and having this physical presence. So I think we did well with the online version, but it's even better when we are face-to-face. Thank you very much. I'd like to congratulate the teams. This means that we've come to an end of the student competition, JA Startup 2020. Congratulations to all 15 teams. They were fantastic. Now the selection panel, the jury, will deliberate in order to come up with the winners. We're waiting with bated breath because this year is a very important year, because the winning team of this competition will represent Greece in JA Europe Enterprise Challenge 2020. And for the first time, this will be held in Greece. The first award will be delivered by Mr. Kyriakos Pierakakis, President of Digital Governance, Mr. Vasilis Digalakis' second award, and the third award will be by Jeffrey Pyatt, the American ambassador to Athens. We will also have with us Ashiva Advani and CEO of JA Europe, Salvatore Negro. Stay with us, stay tuned. We'll be back at 3 for the award ceremony. So stay with us, stay tuned at Junior Achievement Greece. Thank you.